Hey everyone, Mike Andes here with Landscape Business Course. Today I'm going to have you kind of come along for a bit of a half-day vlog, I guess. We're going to go to the Bellingham shop, have our Wednesday morning midweek meeting with the team, and go over the financials from last month. So we look at the P&L. And so you've already seen that. If you want really more detail, there's a video I did a couple weeks ago going through the profit and loss statement and explain that a little bit more. And then after that, Josh and I are going to go and look for a new conference venue. Yesterday evening, we had the franchise roundtable. So all the owners of the franchise are on a Zoom call together. But right before that, literally right before that, Holiday Inn, our venue, called and basically said, hey, we can't cater any food and we are reducing capacity for the next 6 months at our hotel. Well, they're not going to be able to keep all of us at their hotel because they're reducing their capacity, which stinks. It was a great venue. However, I think it's going to be a good thing. We are going to hopefully get to a place that is a lot bigger and is going to be able to still be within a couple minutes of that facility. So stick with us here for the ride. We'll have the meeting, then we're going to go check out this new venue, see if it's something that we can afford because it'll be expensive, and see if it'd be a better fit for us for Landscape Summit, which is definitely sign up for in the link below, landscapebusinesscourse.com/conference. Come for 3 days. We're talking about profit sharing, P4P, open book management, and developing a good culture. So let's go ahead and go to this meeting with the team, and then we'll go and tour the facility. All right, so this is September last month. Just printing this off. So in terms of comparing this to say August of last August, you'll see the biggest difference is the payroll. It was like significantly more than the month before. That's because we had 3 pay periods in the month, and so usually we have 2. Obviously, we pay bi-weekly, but on a month like September, you might randomly get 3 sometimes. So that's why that's 80,000 there.
Save the seat for you.
But also there was less overtime, so it wasn't actually as bad as I thought. I anticipated 90,000 for payroll, honestly, but because we had less overtime in September, sorry, we were able to keep that down. Let's go from the top. Advertising and marketing. We did start spending some money in advertising and marketing, doing some Facebook ads, things like that. Towards the middle of September, we all of a sudden got very, very fast. Everyone was extremely efficient. And I think in part due to the fact we had no one getting trained, everyone had been here for a while, everyone could be solo, and so we started knocking out our backlog pretty fast, and so we were down to like 2 days booked out there for a little bit, so we turned on some ads, Facebook, Nextdoor, sent out some emails to get back to like a week booked out. So that was a little bit of advertising expense there. Credit card processing, same old, that's usually about a 3% of a transaction. So if you extrapolate that number out by 30, you're around $100,000, and you can tell that's about how much was used with credit cards versus checks coming in. So like Brandon takes the checks every day, or signs them, puts them all together, and then I just drop them at the bank. That is, you can just do the math, is probably about $70,000 worth of the revenue, and then the other 100 is from the credit card processing. Employee other, that's things like uniforms, buying uniforms, anything else we do, just giving money to the employees. I don't even think we bought, this might be something else. I haven't, obviously not pulling up on here, but that's probably not even uniforms.
That could have been birthdays. We had birthdays and people coming and going.
Got it, okay. Fuel expense, that's that. Was it Brad who came up with the idea about going to a different gas station? Mm-hmm. That was brilliant, thank you. Sometimes like $1 more per gallon. But yeah, that's good. It's lower, honestly, than even last year when we had less trucks, or more trucks. Or last year we had less trucks, but more fuel expense due to the fact that the fuel costs this year are significantly lower because oil prices are so low. But usually we're spending around $3,500 just because the oil prices are low right now. Where are we at here? Office and software. I don't know what that's all for. Service Autopilot, we pay about $600 a month. Mm-hmm. $600 a month we pay for Service Autopilot. It's an arm and a leg, but obviously we all have different account. Every single employee has a different account. That's $19 a month, and then you got the automations and all that. They all tack on, so it's pretty expensive. maybe one day as a franchise, once the franchise is a certain size, we'll be able to build our own, so we don't have to spend that money. That's just very expensive to build, so that's down the road. Obviously payroll there, that's 3 pay periods. Like I said, usually we run around $30,000 per pay period every other week. And then with the third one, I was expecting 90, it was at 80 because we just had like no overtime. Some people were getting off early. We have, few of the employees have started to take Mondays and Tuesdays, a couple days off a week. So kind of reduced it a little bit for that month. There's a refund in there that I actually went back and looked. I don't think it's an actual refund.
It was somebody who we had to refund their 50% because the city came in and said they couldn't do their project.
Nice.
Yeah.
So we paid her back her refund.
Quality. You know, it's
50%.
funny. So when I did this publicly, I don't look at the P&L before I do it publicly. So like as I'm going through, I'm like, I've never seen that before ever in my life. I'm like so unhappy. I was just like, that's rip off.
We tried.
Yeah,
Okay.
we did everything we could to keep her on the schedule, but I guess someone had complained to the city that she shouldn't be doing this massive project and everything.
Wow.
So the city got involved, and she was like, well, now I have to get permits, and maybe next spring I'll do
Now
it.
next to Willie Welcome.
Yeah, it's by the way. It's in the watershed.
I
so-
don't even talk to them now.
Yeah.
All right. Rent, utilities, and shop expenses. That's the usual around here in terms of internet, toilet, garbage. Rent here is $1,000 a month. We have another 2 years of that. In a year, we'll be seriously considering buying a place. I have my eye on a few different places, but right now, commercial land is through the roof expensive. Couple ideas though, including buying a church and trying to turn it into an office. We'll figure that out eventually. Taxes, it's a big chunk obviously. That includes payroll taxes. So for example, like when you look at the payroll expenses, that's what goes to you guys. So you know how in your check you see all the deductions and things like that. That includes what your guys getting. The other part there is payroll taxes, L&I, all the other stuff that comes out, as well as sales tax. All right, tools, supplies, and materials. That's pretty straightforward. 13,000. So that's about 8% of gross revenue, and that's just in tools and supplies. And that's usually because you hardscaping jobs, so all your mulch, gravel, stuff like that. Truck and equipment expense was a little bit higher this month, because we had some significant repairs, as well as we did buy one piece of equipment. I want to say it was a mower. There was one piece of equipment.
Well, we bought a whole nother rack set.
That's what it was. Yep. Yeah, it was like $1,200.
Yeah.
So okay, cool. So that one's expected, and then we already know in October we're gonna have expenses on that because we had to change the transmission on one of the trucks. So that was a big expense, but it was worth it because it will still last a long time, I think. So, cool. Any questions based upon this? Super exciting. No, for the quarter though, I was really happy. So this rounded off the third quarter. So Q3 is July, August, and September. It was our best quarter ever in terms of margin, profit, like every number. And so we had 24.5% profit. I don't expect us to be able to do that year round. I wish we could, but usually we average out around 20. So, but it was definitely a great quarter, and so yeah, appreciate everyone's work. Any other questions about this, about other finance stuff? I know a couple people over at Command Center are like looking at houses and all the rest of it, so we've been yakking over there occasionally. By the way, this is Michelle Ben. She's from Command Center. She answers our phone calls and all the rest of it. I told them they could come on over. So, cool. Any other questions though? Okay, so last night I was about to go to sleep, and then I found this wonderful company that I wanted to like look at their financial report. It took me all night, but it was so much fun. I don't usually do that, and I don't usually like look at companies that are like really, really small. It's a SPAC, like a very speculative company. But it was interesting. Hyliion?
Oh, lawn care company?
No, just on the stock market. You can't look at someone's financials usually.
No, I thought someone got in touch with you and asked
Oh,
you.
no.
I was like, you spent all night on that?
No.
Okay,
It was just a
I
couple
see what you're
hours.
saying,
It was
yeah.
fun though. Just looking at their 10K and stuff. But anyways, you, Michelle, do you have a question?
Yeah, but I can't think about phrasing it. I guess investing money, like what's the best way to invest it? Like obviously I can't go buy a house right now per se, but because you're talking about, I listened to that Rich Dad Poor Dad book, or Rich
Dad Poor Dad, yeah.
Yeah, and he was talking about like investing and stuff, and I just don't know where and then Josh always talks about investing in things that are gonna grow you,
Yeah.
not make you deplete. So I don't know.
Yeah, like, you know, I think the thing too, even when I was listening to a book yesterday, something to keep in mind is like sometimes the books are written by people that are like way down the road from us. And so, for example, like I'm reading this book about from Netflix, right, from the founder of Netflix. And I truly believe half that book is not relevant to small businesses. So for me to step in and be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna implement this because like Netflix guy said it, I'm gonna do it, necessarily isn't the right thing. So for example, like Guy Kawasaki, guy who wrote that book, if you read another one of his books, he'll be like, oh, you should be investing in gold right now. Like, or he'll say you need to invest in this. I'm like, okay, that's fine, but you are like leagues ahead of where I'm at from an investing standpoint. And they'll talk about their 50-unit apartment complex. Like, I can't afford that, right? So for me, like, I think the first investment for everyone should be in themselves in terms of educating, whether that be a $10 audiobook or whether it be, you know, spending some money on a course or whatever it is. Like, I feel like that's the best ROI. Like, if I'm gonna try to double my money, I can turn my $10 audiobook, learn something, and turn that into like 1000x, right? Just by learning something, saving money in a certain area, whatever. And then I think the secondary thing is like figure out, you know, like Josh has probably been talking about, assets that are appreciating,
Yes.
right? Things that are going up in value. And so, you know, we've talked about here before in terms of like most of what we use and buy is depreciating. It goes down in value. Like this computer, it's $1,000, it lasts me 5 years, so it's costing me $200 a year. It's going down in value. Whereas if I could buy a $1,000 stock and in 5 years it's worth $2,000, it went up 20% every year on average, right? So thinking about things that go up in value, I think is the most important. And people get wrapped up, whether it be stocks, which are easy to get into because you can tap a few buttons on your phone. They get wrapped up in like, oh, it's down today, it's up today. Because like, no, like look, it's an appreciating asset. If you believe in the company over time, like you need to just leave the money there. And then usually what I suggest is like, if you're gonna say build in the stock market, putting money in, and then one day you use that money for a real estate deal, which is like a bigger jump. Like you said, like you kind of like it took me years to afford my first house, right? And you're just kind of putting money away, and then you have enough, and you can go get a down payment. So, yeah. And I think as soon as you can become an owner of real estate instead of a renter, it is good. And even if that's, you know, ideally you can house hack it. So you get like a duplex, or you live in one house, you know, as being single, you can live in one room, or it's the suite part and then rent out the house part, right? Stuff like that is kind of the way that I feel is really a good place to start. So, cool. Any other deep, profound questions for this morning? Cool, awesome. Thanks so much, everyone. Feel free to keep those if you want. You can share them, I don't care. they're online now, so it's not like I'm hiding anything. Cool. Hey everyone, so change of plans. This looks like it's going to be the place where we have the conference. We're still obviously looking around some other places, but this is probably where it's going to be because it's so big. The max capacity is usually 1372. So because of that, and with the percentages of COVID, we should be able to fit at least 200 in here. And so we're definitely going to book that out. We're already well over half of that. So this is probably where it's going to be at. We'll have a stage, whole bunch of chairs, lots of social distancing. Got a whole kitchen in the back. We got several rooms in the back that we can do the franchisee seminars and breakout sessions, things like that. So this is kind of it. It's probably a lot bigger in person than it is on the camera, but just lots of space for us to be able to still have the event and spread out still. So looking forward to it. 5 years ago, but I know you all have improved. Oh no, like 10 years ago almost. It's
Things
improved
change,
a lot.
yeah, things change. Let me run and turn the lights on real
Okay,
quick. Oh, let me
very
turn on
cool.
both sets. It's kind of a, there's light switches here for all the fancy things. Light switches are way over here.
I bet.
Usually there's a stage over on this side.
Okay.
We just had a cat show. We're the one event we were allowed to have in the last
A cat
week
show.
because it was an agricultural
Oh
event.
my goodness.
So there's usually a stage here if you need it, or we
Okay.
could put it anywhere.
And how big is that stage?
Let me think.
It's pretty big, right?
Yeah, it's 20, there's 4 squares, so 20 by 8, I think, or 20 by 12.
Okay, okay.
And there's pictures, if you go online, there's tons
perfect.
of pictures.
Oh, that's nice.
There's 2 screens, there's one on that side, one on this side. They're automatic, wireless, they're run by, you just log into your computer and they work.
Okay.
wireless microphones,
So-
podium.
sorry, there's one screen there, one screen there.
No, one screen there and one screen there.
Oh, okay.
The one over there is.
And how do you, like, if, say for example, if we wanted to get 200 in here, do you all have chairs? Or
We do. We have 300
Okay.
media chairs, and I'll kind of show you. Are you thinking? Do you do stadium? Like what exactly are you?
Ideally, we do classroom style.
Okay.
But if you don't have the desks, we'd just probably have to do chairs only.
Well, we have tables. We have 46-foot tables,
Okay.
43 round tables. So
Oh, right. Okay. And then in terms of food, would we be used?
I'll give you that. I'll show
Okay,
you that.
cool.
Are you having speakers?
Yeah, we have several speakers from us. So it's like a landscaping conference,
Oh,
basically.
okay. So we have plenty of rounds, plenty of 6-footers. You can use some. You can use however you. It just kind of depends on how you want to.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we might work. Okay. Oh, and that's the stage.
So there's 20 and they're 4 feet.
By 4 feet, basically.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, 28.
I believe we do 8 and then
Would you recommend that be where the stage is at then?
usually that's where it's
Okay.
at. It's either usually there or there.
Okay.
We have done it in the middle, just and then people are around. But
Right.
if you're going to use the screens, it's just that's kind of the focal point when everybody walks in.
Yeah.
If you're doing bottled water and such, they usually do it along this wall here
Okay.
or along over there.
Oh, this is nice.
So down here is more bathrooms. There's restrooms in there.
Okay. And is there secondary rooms in the back there?
Yeah, I'll
Okay,
show you what
cool.
all. So this would be the main room. So if
Oh,
you have
nice.
someone like that
Backstage
needs
speakers.
right,
Stuff like that. Cool. All
kind of
right.
like a green room type of situation.
Perfect. Josh, you can put all your gear in here.
Like I said, I have a private bathroom.
Nice.
And it does lock, so if you're here for several days, you can lock
Okay.
that room and put stuff in it.
Cool.
Kitchen. The only
This is the part I make a video for charity.
the only thing we don't have is ovens.
That's what she said. She's cooked here before, she said.
If she's been here before, we do have a warming oven now. We just
Okay.
got that last year.
Okay.
So you can bring food in
On platters and warm it
and
up.
keep them hot.
Okay.
That's a portable bar. I'm assuming you're not.
No, we wouldn't.
Probably they don't.
No.
Probably don't want to get everybody liquored up for your
No,
conference.
thank you.
So, but there's 2 refrigerators.
Okay.
And this one can be plugged in. This one's usually the beverage one.
Okay.
And a freezer.
Okay.
And then we do also have the 2 side rooms.
This is perfect, actually. So like on the Wednesday, we just have our franchisees. So there'll be like 40 people.
Okay.
And then it's the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, it's the 200.
Okay.
But I think we could honestly use one of these for the franchisees. What do you?
Oh yeah, you for 40 people. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Is it allowed, or are they kind of they're
Well-
restricting the whole building kind of thing?
I don't know. I mean, you still are supposed to have the spacing.
Right. Right.
And who knows by January what it's going to be, so you
Yeah.
still have to have 6 feet,
Okay.
with around each table.
Even if we just did both rooms for
Yeah.
that first day.
Oh yeah, you could easily get that many people in.
Okay, cool. The AV, so like the audio visual,
Mhm.
is my biggest concern, honestly. Obviously, we have the 2 screens. That's fine. That screen's up there. And then if we wanted to plug like our own audio system into that, can we?
You can.
Like I know you have this. Is the port. Is
Well,
it-
that runs the 2 screens. That
Oh,
runs
okay,
the
cool.
Sonos. I'll show you our audio video room. We do have wireless microphones.
Okay.
I have 3. We have had people bring in, but they've brought in their own speakers.
Right,
aside
right.
from what we have.
Got it.
So this is our audio video room.
Oh, right. I remember using all this.
And so we do have
Yeah.
we have 2 handhelds,
Okay.
1
And
lapel, and I have access to another lapel. I just haven't had them. I need them to come in and wire it for me, make sure I can get it.
Okay, cool. Okay. So this is your out. Your amp. Okay. Guys, it would have to come through here. I think we brought in our own board and tapped into this.
If you brought in other then you probably tapped into something.
Got it.
I mean, if it's been a while, we did upgrade this.
Yeah,
2
this
years,
is way
yeah.
better than it used to be.
Let's say we upgraded 2 years ago.
Got
but
it. Okay, cool. So if we wanted to go ahead and book it,
Mm-hmm.
are they requiring deposits right now, or is it just like, how's it working with all what's going on? Because they don't.
I could block in your dates for you.
Yeah.
And we could kind of play it by ear.
Okay. And then have like a date where like, hey.
Yeah,
weeks
like
before or
if
whatever.
it looks like it's gonna happen by, mid-December. And right now right now I am allowed to have training, so.
Okay, cool.
Up to 200 people, so you are good on that, so.
Is it really loud 1,300 in here
Mhm.
usually? That's insane.
The biggest I think I've personally had in here is about 750 for a funeral,
Wow.
so.
Okay, so you have that. And I think we could do the classroom style with the amount of tables you have. If you have 44, we need like 4 or 5 people per. We just do stripes. How do you find it with the pillars? Is that
You do have to kind of set around. I mean,
Okay.
once you get set up, you just want to really be vigilant
Yeah.
of each pillar. They look nice, but they are kind of a pain.
yeah,
But you can definitely do it. Like I said, I had 700 in here.
yeah.
We have one big fundraiser normally every year, and they last year, I want to say she had like 750 seated,
Oh wow, wow.
and she made it work. So
Okay, okay. Cool. All right, yeah. Like if I get the pricing for that and everything, and
Okay.
kind of get that, I would assume we'd probably just get from Wednesday all the way through, like we talked about. Just
Right.
Even though the first day we'd have this, because then
That's fine.
the other folks on the team can be setting up the chairs, setting up the stage, and
Oh, and those are the chairs, I guess.
oh, those are nice. Perfect.
So
And there's 300 of those.
380.
Wow. Okay. Perfect. Okay. Awesome. Well, I'll make a video for my caterer lady as well as
Okay.
my AV guy because they
Okay.
both need to know what the kind of differences are here. And then let's go ahead and just put it on the calendar.
Okay.
And then just let me know what date I need the deposit for.
Sure.
And whatever that is, I'm totally fine with. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it'll be good.
If you want a video, then I'll go pull up my
Perfect.
contract,
And I'll
and
stop by
then
the
just come
office.
into my office, and then
Perfect.
we'll get that worked up, and then
Cool. Sounds
signed,
good.
and then we'll be good.
Will do. Thanks so much.
Oh yeah, no problem.
All right, so that's basically a wrap for today. Hopefully the team meeting was kind of inspiring for you all to share your numbers. We're gonna be talking a lot more about open book management at this year's conference, and we're actually gonna be practicing with each other on how to share your numbers with your team. And that open book management leads into the culture aspect of things and also profit sharing program, things like that. So we're talking all about that at conference, which kind of leads us into our second meeting of today, which was going and viewing the new venue. As you saw, it's nice and big, gives us lots of space. There is gonna be a cap at 200 people though, so make sure you sign up. We're already over half of the spots being filled, and we will absolutely hit that number. So going down below in the link, you click the link, it's landscapebusinesscourse.com/conference. I'm gonna update the information on there. There is a hotel directly across the street from the event center, and then the one that's most of you have already booked at Holiday Inn is literally 5 minutes away. And we're gonna make sure that you can get transportation from the hotel to the event center with buses if you don't have a rental car. So we'll make sure that's all set up correctly and that you get someone a ride over. So it's not ideal. Ideally, we'd have the hotel and the event center all together in one building like we have in the past. But I honestly think it's gonna be better. This one's way bigger. We got the kitchen. We're gonna have much better food because we're gonna bring our own caterers in. And so I'm really looking forward to it. So make sure you come, you sign up. If you were worried about social distancing, you've now seen the video, how much space we're gonna have. So it'll definitely be a lot safer, I think, too. So really looking forward to it. Make sure you sign up. We'll see you in January.